Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. Welcome to Phoenix, Arizona. And happy Thursday. This is the first stream of the week, and potentially the only one. I am thinking about maybe doing one on Saturday. That'd be the birthday stream Saturday. But we'll see, we'll see. Have some things to figure out yet. Again, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. We are here in Phoenix. We're going to do a flight up to Durango. Now, I flew out of Durango in the sim to Denver earlier this week in the plane that we're flying today. And I just realized I think I parked at the wrong gate. I think I'm supposed to be over here with the other Americans. I was toying with what plane to fly today. I really was. CRJ, A319, the 777, which makes no sense for Durango. But we're in a sim, and we're here to have fun. But I decided on this beautiful ERJ-170 from Flight Sim Studio. It's a fantastic plane. I have a lot of fun flying it, I really do. I've kind of really been into it hard recently. It obviously has its issues, you know, right? There's no VNAV and whatnot, but it's a fun plane. Well, let's get going here. So we're going to go ahead and connect the GPU. And while we're waiting for that GPU to connect, we're going to go over here to Flight Details. And we're going to import the flight plan. I'm going to click this little button, go to Departure. We're expecting runway 7 left out of Phoenix. Conditions are currently dry. We're going to auto get the weather, calculate, and instant loaded it. Beautiful. By that time, we should be able to go up here to the top, get our batteries going, get that APU rolling. Next, emergency passengers on, no smoking, seatbelts all on, and let's go and get our lights rolling as well. Okay, now that we have that all going, we go on down below. We can go to route and put in our destination, which is K, D, R, and O. Hop that in there. We can hit send. Hit sending, and we can request it and get it applied. For some reason, it doesn't like turnarounds. This isn't a turnaround flight, I guess, but it doesn't like, what do you call it? You got, I don't know, restarting the sim with the previous flight. Now, again, this plane is not fully baked into 2024. This is just kind of compatible. They made it work. I recognize that airport as soon as you loaded that airport. 20 miles south of me. Going to be a good stream. Hey, welcome in, Max. Phoenix, this rendition of Phoenix is really nice. I've never been there in real life, but based on the photos I've seen, it is really impressive. So 7 left via Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill, isn't that like a little character? Mr. Bill via Jarpa. And apply that. Alright, and then we're going to be going direct to Risk and then direct to Durango. So let's go ahead and go to arrival. Runway 21, which is the... no, there wasn't actually the departure runway that I took last time. RNAV 21, and we're going to go direct to... Let's see, what are we going to do direct to? 21, it's going to be direct to... Probably no direct. Guess we're just gonna go here. Yeah, we'll go here for now. And apply that. Now after... Get back to my flight plan, sorry. Alright, after Jarpa, we're gonna go to Risk RSK. Pop that in here. Oh, that's weird. What happened there? We're supposed to go here. There we go. And let's clear out this one, I guess, then. Can we delete? I don't think we can delete in this one. So let's go here to here. Nope. I guess we're going to have a broken flight plan, potentially. I don't think you can delete. Oh, there we go. Cool. Okay. So Jarpa, Risk, whatever that is, and then runway 21. Cool. Looks good to me. Let's go to flight plan. All grand there. Beautiful. Let's go back over here to the computer. We're going to send this to McDo 38 on the trim. And the computer's going to pop in all the information for us. We can go ahead and put our trim. So 38 right there. Beautiful, grand. Welcome to Sebastian. Hey, really want to pick this plane up, but have been deterred by friends' opinions. Anything I should know about it before possibly pulling trip? You know what? It's a fun plane. People talk a lot of bad stuff about it. They really do. You know, watch the departure here. Watch a little bit of the cruise. It's a fun plane. It really is. It has its issues. It really does. Like on arrival, you'll see that at some fix here, it's just going to go all haywire. Want to go a different direction. As long as you put heading mode in, you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. It's really a fun plane. It really is. And here in 2024, the flight physics are so much better. It feels really, really good. I was just on this plane at IRL on on Friday and Monday. So Friday last week, this last Monday. And I tell you what, the sounds are pretty damn spot on. The way the plane feels, you know, virtually, of course, here in the sim, seems pretty similar to real life as well, at least in Flight Sim 2024. So I'm impressed. You know, like it sold me even more so. Now I had bought it when it was on a sale. I don't know, whenever that was, a year and a half ago, 2 years, however long it's been now, out. But it was only like $5-10 off, so it wasn't anything crazy. I don't even know what the full price is right now. But my personal opinion is I love this plane. I really do. I really do. And I'm excited to see what's going to be coming out for it in the near future. So again, watch the departure here and see how it is. Popped in a couple times in the past few weeks. Enjoy lurking. Well, keep on lurking, Sebastian. Keep on lurking. Okay, I think we're ready. Should we get ATC? Let's get ATC. So we are using a pilot's life. This is a real world flight that SkyWest does. And of course we're using Beyond ATC. On the comms, Phoenix clearance, hello from SkyWest 6334, ready for IFR clearance to Durango. And before I forget,
another subscriber.
Thanks for the subscription.
SkyWest 6334 Phoenix clearance cleared to Durango La Plata Co Airport. Mirabel 1 departure, JARPA transition, then as filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency 126.8, squawk 3556.
Alright, 3556.
Cleared to Durango La Plata Co Airport.
We're cleared via the
Mirabel
SID.
1 departure, JARPA transition, then as filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 126.8.
So I'm just going to climb all the way up to 390, unless they say otherwise.
6334.
We got that all set in there.
SkyWest 6334, read back correct. Contact ground 132.55 when ready for push or start.
You can see the flight plan sometimes is really weird. So we got this Sprinky in here.
132.55 when ready for pushback or engine start. SkyWest 6334.
I don't know if that's actually what we're supposed to be going to. Let's see. I don't see that anywhere on my little plan here. Let's zoom on out, see what we got going on. Or Sparky? I guess that's where it is. Risk Sparky. Isn't Risk supposed to be after? Did I screw that up? Let's see, let's check this out. I think I might have screwed that up. Fetch. Scroll down. Yeah, Risk isn't supposed to be until the end, so we're going to go direct to Sparky. I think that's Sparky. We'll go direct to Sparky after departure.
Southwest 1476.
Alright. What else we got to do? Okay, I think we're pretty much ready to go. Let's go over here and disconnect the GPU. Go up here to the top. Electronics on. Phoenix ground. SkyWest 6334, ready for pushback and engine start.
SkyWest 6334, Phoenix ground, pushback and engine start approved, face south.
Facing south, 25 right is
Pushback
runway
approved,
now, so they
face
switched our
south,
runway,
SkyWest 6334.
which is kind of cool because it's actually closer.
UPS 28,
And winds are 220 at 4, so I guess that kind of works. Alright, we don't have a map to look at here, so we kind of got to eyeball it the best we can. Release the parking brake, request pushback, hold it, beautiful grand. Go on down below here, engine number 1, starting up. And then I like to get the ident going right away, because sometimes with this plane in the current build, it doesn't quite want to ident properly. So we're going to go keep TCAS on. Get the clock rolling. Alright. Looking good. Again, this is a really fun plane. I really do enjoy it. I really, really do. Now, as you see, I did change the yoke cam a lot. I went back kind of to the old style. Because I really like y'all to see the FCU here at the top. It's probably tough to see in the stream, but if we need more light, just let me know. We'll get more light going. Alright, engine 1 is coming on board, looking good. Let's go ahead and get our yaw damper going. You got a UPS out there in the distance. Is that an MD-11? Or MD-10? Alright, let's go on down here. Engine number 2 rolling. Let's get some brakes.
Southwest 1476. Taxi for departure.
We'll get our taxi next.
Southwest 1476,
let's go flaps 2.
Runway 25 right, taxi via 8. Delta 1 tree, Echo 1 tree, Romeo.
I think I'm going to get a little bit of light here while we're getting that engine to come on board.
Delta 13 Echo 1
does look a little bit dark.
Southwest 1476.
There, that should help a little bit. Alright, engine's coming up.
Heavy, contact Phoenix Tower, 120.9er, have a good one.
Come on.
Contact Tower 120.9.
I need to jump in.
UPS 2055 heavy.
Phoenix ground, Skywest 6334, request taxi to the active. 25 right for departure, so let's go over here. Departure, runway, 25 right. And it's still going to be Mr. Bill via JARP. Right, yep. Apply.
Skywest 6334, runway 25 right.
Oh, we lost.
Delta 12, Echo 12.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put in
Runway 25 right, taxi
risk
via Delta.
back.
Delta 12, Echo 12.
So risk should be
Skywest 6334.
after this. Or sorry, before this. I don't understand why it's doing that.
354. Request taxi.
So let's delete that again. And then, well, where's risk on the map? Let me see. Is it something I can just avoid?
Echo 12.
I see risk on here.
All right, we'll taxi to
Oh, I
runway
see, okay.
25 right by a 6.
Yeah, we do need that.
Delta 12.
RSK.
Echo 12. Southwest 354.
What is that?
Southwest 354, contact Phoenix Tower 120.9er, have a good one.
Over to Tower 120.9er. Southwest 354. See you.
Alright, we're just gonna go ahead and say the hell with risk in the flight plan, because it's kind of goofing up. Oh, there it is now.
Now current, altimeter tree 002.
Something's screwed up here now, all the way. Where's Sparky at? We need Sparky, Goal, Hawk, Mr. Bill. Something seems to have all got screwed up. How do we get back to the thing? So route, arrival. Nope. Hold on. Route, departure, runway 25 right. Via Mr. Bill and JARPA. Apply. Okay, let's see what the plan is like now. We're still missing. It's not updating this stuff here, so we're gonna have to just kind of figure this out on our own. Because at this point, I don't believe, I'll try, but I don't believe you can put things in SPR
Southwest 2248, Phoenix ground.
KY.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face south.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face south. Southwest 2248.
This is like the limitations with this. This is the biggest issue I have with the 170. Everyone seems to have it. It's just the computers themselves. Yeah, something's really screwed up here. Let me see if I can re-import. Let's go send. Let me see if I can reset it. See if that helps. And then apply. And I just won't put in the risk. Okay, so then we're gonna go
Delta 905,
departure runway
Foxtrot 11. Request
25
pushback.
right via Mr. Bill, JARPA,
Delta
fly,
905, Phoenix ground. Pushback and engine start approved. Face south.
and arrival runway
Pushback
21
and engine start approved.
RNAV,
Face south.
and we'll go
Delta
vectors.
905.
Fly. Now, alright, well, we're just screwed. We'll just have to deal with it. Which is going to be interesting with Beyond ETC. Alright, let's go taxi on. Good, grand. APU off.
Southwest 2248.
Alright, and we're taxiing
Taxi for
via
departure.
Delta 12. Delta
Southwest
12.
2248, runway 25 right, taxi via 4.
So Delta is what we're going to be on here. Look left, look right, all clear.
Runway 25 right, taxi via 4. Delta. Delta 12. Echo. Echo 12. Southwest 2248.
Alright, and then we are at 10s here. Got a southwest moving. And 11, and then 12. So we're following the southwest. So if you want to see FPS count, I'll bring that up for a little bit too. So here in Phoenix, we're at about 60, what, about the low 60s, dips into the 50s. That's not too bad for having traffic. Alright, here's 12, right? Right. Alright, so yeah, we're following the southwest.
Skywest 6334, contact Phoenix Tower 120.9er.
Over to Tower 120.9er, Skywest 6334.
And
Southwest 2248. Holding short.
it's a weird place to
Runway
hold short,
25 right.
but it works. I think they can move a little bit more. Is it going to do like that crazy 90-degree turn?
Runway 25 right, cleared for takeoff. Runway 25 right, our NAV to JUTAC, cleared for takeoff. Southwest 2248.
I wonder why it does that sometimes. RNAV instead of just RNAV. What's this plane gonna do? Okay, it is turning. And it turns on a dime. That's a damn fine plane. Phoenix Tower, Skywest 6334, holding short runway 25, right, ready to go.
Skywest 6334, hold short of 25 right, departing traffic.
Alright, we're gonna hold short.
Roger, hold short of 25 right for traffic, Skywest 6334.
Watch that southwest takeoff. Get our landing lights on.
Skywest 6334, runway 25 right, line up and wait.
We're lining up and we're waiting.
Runway 25 right, line up and wait, Skywest 6334.
Now this flight model is from X-Craft, I believe, that FSS used. And obviously it's a really good flight model. Looks really nice. Oh, I see what's going on now. Actually, the flight plan looks to be right. Jingo. Nope. Maybe not. Oh yeah, this kind of. It's missing a waypoint, but
220 at 4, fly heading 260, runway 25 right, cleared for takeoff.
260. Runway heading clear for takeoff. Let's go flying.
Fly heading 260, runway
Throttles up.
25 right, cleared for takeoff. SkyWest 6334.
Auto throttle armed. And toga set checked. Good.
Southwest 2248, contact Phoenix departure.
Let's go flying.
Good flight.
Alright, 260 on departure.
Contact Phoenix departure, Southwest 2248. Have a good one.
80 knots.
Checked.
Blue 1. Rotate.
Rotating. A little bit of a wind.
Positive rate.
Gear going up. Alright, we're going to maintain heading first. And flaps up 1 notch. Let's trim on down a little bit.
SkyWest 6334, contact Phoenix departure, take care.
Up to departure.
Contact Phoenix departure, SkyWest 6334.
Flaps up full.
Phoenix departure, SkyWest 6334, 2500.
SkyWest 6334, Phoenix departure. Good morning. Radar
Nav
contact.
checks and set.
Clear direct OSC. Resume the Mirable 1. Climb and maintain flight level 190.
Cleared direct OSCU, resume the Mirable 1.
Doing some minor
Climb
trim
and
adjustments.
maintain flight level 190, SkyWest 6334.
Southwest 354. Contact Albuquerque Center 125.4. Take care.
Alright, going up to flight level 190. We have 390 already set in the system, so we should get clear to go all the way up there. I'm not too concerned about that. Well, it looks like that runway, I don't know if it's real life what they're doing, but that runway change, I think, made sense. Because the winds were kind of coming from 220. So, I don't know if SimBrief was wrong or what, but that was a pretty good, I would say, a pretty good runway change. Alright, make our turn. So the computer was not wrong. I forgot that we had the runway change, so we weren't going direct to Sparky anymore on departure. I was looking at the charts wrong. So I don't have risk in the system anymore, so we'll have to kind of figure that out. I don't think I can add it anymore at this point either. Again, this is the limitations of the McDo in this computer in this plane. That should be fixed when they release the next version, the V2, whatever they call it. That should all be fixed. All right, 10,000 landing lights coming off. AP is on.
Delta 905.
Go ahead and zoom on out here.
Radar contact. Climb maintain 17,000 feet.
Climb maintain
But we should be all right because risk is around over here. So we're kind of going to follow that same flight plan. So I think we'll be all right. I'll just keep a lookout on Navigraph, my charts. Make sure we're on the flight plan right, because else beyond ATC might get all wonky. But I call that a good departure. A very good departure.
Southwest 2248. Contact Albuquerque Center 125.4.
Long departure.
Contact Albuquerque Center 125.4, Southwest 2248.
Alright, so we're expecting to be on the ground within the next about an hour. Well, it says about an hour and a half. We'll see if we'll pick up. Well, I don't know if we're picking up speed. That's a pretty long flight for 300 nautical miles, right? Yeah, ETA is saying 1522. We'll see what happens, I guess. So I did a flight in the 777 Tuesday night, and had a lot of fun. A lot of fun with it. I think I'm gonna work on a video. I have an idea for a video, kind of surrounding the talk of the 777, the A350. We'll kind of see how it all plays out. But I think I might work on a video for that.
SkyWest 6334, contact Albuquerque Center 125.4.
I did see that Just Flight is on the verge of releasing updates for some of their planes to make them compatible with 2024, which is awesome for all those GA pilots out there. Those are incredible aircrafts. I have 2 of them, I think.
Through 16,800 feet for flight level 190 direct ZLUB.
So it's going to be a really cool thing to see a lot of the GA pilots out there. People that have some really good planes.
Climb and maintain
Alright.
flight level 390.
Standard pressure coming on up.
6334.
There's flight level 180, going to standard. 29902, beautiful. And now we're looking at ETF 17, so we're making some progress here. Trimmed off about, what, 9 minutes?
Have a good morning.
Very cool. One thing that I noticed hugely with 2024 and this plane is the fact that it doesn't have the what was it? The issue in 2020 with this plane, one of the issues with this plane in 2020 was that the performance would degrade as the flight goes on. I have not had that happen in 2024. So I don't know if it was some code they've made some minor adjustments to, or if that's just something in 2024 that seems to have fixed it. But there's always been an issue that I had with 2020 in this plane, and one of the reasons why I didn't fly it a lot was somewhere within the flight. It could be 15, 20 minutes into the flight, you start getting frame drops, kind of slowly, but slowly. And by the end of the flight, you've lost 10 or 15 frames. And then it just was sometimes very hard to fly if you're coming into an airport that's also very demanding. Because you might get the hesitations, the stutters, obviously the frame drop period. But in 2024, this has been a really good plane. A really good plane. I've had, again, a lot of fun with it. I'm now curious how much it costs.
Albuquerque Center, SkyWest 6334. Good morning, through flight level 231 for flight level 390.
Now I don't have the 190, so it's $40 on Just Flight.
6334 Albuquerque Center, roger.
$40. Here's what I'd say. There's not a lot of regional aircrafts in the sim. We have the CRJ, and ideally we'd have the CRJ and we have this plane, right? As the real regional aircrafts. How much is the CRJ? I want to say it's it's $50. So it's like 40 more bucks than this plane, and you get 3 variants with that compared to 2 with this one. I don't know. It's a tough call. It really is, honestly. The sounds in this plane are really good. The flight model is superior to 2020's version. Again, this is just a compatibility update. This isn't a full compatibility update either. It's just kind of just good enough to fly. And that was because of Sim Update 2, which is still in beta. The CRJ has its weird flight model still. That's a known thing. I don't think that's ever going to get fixed. I heard a rumor that apparently they were working on maybe adjusting it. I don't know if that's fully true though. But for $40, I think it's a good buy. For $40, I think it is personally. If you like regional aircrafts and if you go in knowing some of the limitations. If you go in knowing the limitations, such as with no VNAV and that the McDo is limited, I think he'd be satisfied. I think he'll be satisfied. It handles really, really nicely. I've always loved it from day one, even in 2020. I love the handling of the plane. It could be a little weird at times, but I always like hand flying the plane. My issues early on with it in 2020 was that change from ground to airborne, because I had a weird feeling there. This one, because of the change in 2024, feels so much more smoother. I'm still having issues with Beyondatc where it puts me too high in profile after the update. Really? So Garen, put in those issues in their Discord. It's super important for them to know so they can make an adjustment to it. We're going to find out on this flight. This is going to be a big one to see how it does, because Durango doesn't have a star to go into. So in theory, it should follow whatever the final fixes it has for the arrival. It should follow that altitude restriction. So it should have me descend properly. Now, I did have yesterday, and I think yesterday was the first time beyond TC this week, honestly, because I've been just kind of just flying and watching some stuff in the background. But the issue I've been having is it not telling me descend and descend via blah. It just says expected arrival runway blah blah blah, and that's my cue that I'm descending. I guess. So when that happens, I guess that's my cue, because that kind of matches my top of descent based on what a pilot site was saying. Here, that's good. Yeah, put in you put in multiple flights. Perfect. Again, they may not respond. They likely won't respond, but know that they are keeping track of all that stuff, and behind the scenes they're making the adjustments. Behind the scenes they do the adjustments. The issues I've encountered is where it didn't have a star and it was supposed to vector me to an RNAV. Okay, so that's today's flight. That's today's flight we're going to see. So we're expecting to land now at 15:09. So in, what, 50 minutes or so? So yeah, that's today's flight, and that's where I'm curious about. This will be a really big test to see how things perform overall. And I'm getting that weird stutter thing that pops up every once in a while. Watch this. Look at that. Like the frames just go to hell. And it's like 30 seconds to a minute. And then it's gone. And I don't know why. It's ever since I bought this new monitor a few months back. And it seems to be this only title. But this is also the only title where I spend hours in. So it's really hard for me to gauge, but I've never had this issue any other title. So that's why I put all my money that it is a flight sim issue and not a driver or monitor issue. And I think it's all fixed now, right? Yep, all fixed. That's a weird thing. I've had issues at KROA. Can you maybe try a flight from KPI to KRA and see how it goes through? Yeah, I can try that at some point. Not today, though. I'm time limited today, so I can't do it today. But I might try that tonight. Give it a shot. But again, today, this is kind of the test for you as well, because this doesn't have a start for the arrival and is an RNAV approach.
Albuquerque Center, Envoy 3308, descending via Bruiser 1, 1,600 feet.
Again, Garen, like I was saying, I think you might be experiencing the issues I've been hearing, which is you'll get the initial, expect the vectors for the approach runway, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. And then at some point in there, either I ask it, expect runway, blah, 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 or sorry, I say, at top of descent, ready for descent or whatever. And it will come back, expect runway, blah, blah, blah. That apparently is the cue to start your descent. And I think that's where the issue's coming in, is that it's not saying descend to an altitude. It's just saying expect a runway. So again, we'll test it here. We'll see what our top of descent is expecting today.
Albuquerque
And go
Center,
from that
United
point.
1332, flight level tree 50.
All right, RNAV 21 into
Albuquerque Center, roger.
Durango. And we're going to do a minimum of 7,010. So let's go ahead and put a minimum because it's going to take a bit to get there. So if you don't know where that is, it's right down here. Oops. So I'm going to turn this guy all the way up to 710. Or sorry, 7010. The descent is perfectly fine. It's the approach is where it's giving me weird vectoring. Weird vectoring? Okay. So is it not vectoring to the right to intercept the RNAV, or what happened? Also be aware this plane does not have RNAV. Or sorry, yeah, this plane does not have RNAV capabilities. So that should be fun. 70-10. Thankfully the weather is pretty good in Durango. Alright, so it looks like our final arrival is looking to be at 1509. $70-10, almost there. Alright, 70-10's in there. Let's go down here to performance. Let's clear out this. And landing. Runway 210 for the heading. Temperature will probably be about the same, 07.
Descending via Bruiser 1.
Winds are currently 6 at 3. And flap 5 for departure, or sorry, for landing. And we have V speeds in there as well. So all's grand there.
SkyWest 6190, contact Phoenix approach.
About to hit our top of descent.
12.65. Have a good one.
They put me too high when it gave me vectors, and the altitude restriction was 3,000 feet on the approach, and ATC had me at 6,000 feet to intercept the RNAV. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I have, I don't know exactly where it's going to have me intercept at. MATU, probably. And that's 8800. So that's about 9,000. So it could be either 9,000 or 11,000. Alright, we're at top of descent. Or sorry, top of climb. Top of descent's at 1442. 1442. So when you see 1442 on here, that's our idea top of descent in this aircraft for our current flight plan. So 14 minutes or so.
6334. Good morning. Flight level 390.
SkyWest 6334 Albuquerque Center.
Now the question mark's going to be after JARPA. After JARPA, right around here, there's a waypoint called Risk. Farmington. The Farmington VOR, which we're supposed to go over. I don't have that programmed. I don't think. No. Yeah, there's MATU. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Garen, yeah, I have, you can just find me on Discord. You send me a message, a private message, like stereo. Should be able to find me on there. I have a Discord channel too, I don't use it. I'm a lurker in other people's Discord. Yeah, but I'd definitely be happy to try that flight out. Yeah, I'll get you a link. Give me 1 sec here. There is that for you. Alright, all looking grand. Let's see, what other news do we have in the world of light simming? So we got the expo next month, so that is about 6 weeks away, 7 weeks away. Autolus has been announced that they are the official Airbus endorsement, or have an official Airbus endorsement. That's kind of cool. Gatwick is close to release from any builds.
Albuquerque Center, SkyWest 4070, flight level 340.
iFly shared off some new screenshots for the 737 that's on their Discord. So if you're interested in that, I think they're getting pretty close. They didn't give a date or anything. The screenshots look really good, of course. I don't know how much behind the scenes work they're doing, but it does look really nice and I'm super excited. Oh, MK Studios released Seattle, which I already have a... well, I used the default Seattle. I used the default Seattle. I'm happy with it. I do have the premium version of LAX now and JFK from AnyBuilds. And surprisingly, this one shocked the heck out of me, is the performance actually is better than the default LAX. JFK is probably about the same, but the LAX one, it seems to be maybe 5 FPS better. I don't have a full gauge on it. And so that really surprised me. Really, really did. So much desert in this part of the world. I tell you, so my real world flight departed out of Chicago, and then it landed in Chicago as well, and the sim is pretty dang impressive. It is really impressive. So this past weekend was my first flight in what, year and a half? About a year and a half or so. And so that obviously before 2024, and the difference between 2020 and 2024 are there, right, in terms of the graphics itself. The biggest visually change is the lighting engine, right? The lighting engine's major overhaul and looks exceptional with the atmosphere, with the clouds, all that jazz, right? When I'm looking out the window of the plane in real life, I was just blown away with how similar the clouds look in real life compared to the sim, how well the satellite imagery, at least at a high altitude like this, looks in real life versus sim. It really is impressive. And like even the cockpit of this plane, I was really impressed with how detailed it actually looks. So I'll bring it up here on the screen. We can take a look. I'm gonna see if I can zoom out, try to get the right angle. I won't be able to get the exact same angle. but let's see what happens. That's pretty close. Okay, so let's show magic now. So you can see the screenshot on the right side there versus the sim here, and it is pretty impressive. It is pretty impressive. Obviously the lighting's different, you know. That departure there, or sorry, that arrival was overcast. Welcome in, Sean. Was overcast, so the lighting's gonna be a little bit different than in the sim. But like, look at the modeling. The modeling alone tells you how much work some of these airlines or some of these developers have done. Look at the avionics, right? Pretty dang similar.
Center on 124.325.
It is impressive to see.
2315.
Now, I do feel like the modeling, the colors in this plane are off, right? They're not as dark, I guess, as they are in real life. Big thunderstorm today, but not bad. Not bad. And I know they've tweaked that a bit, and the thing is with the colors, it's all so variable because it all depends on what color settings you have on your monitor, what monitor you have, you know, if it's OLED or LED, right? Even like this picture, the screenshot, the colors were probably messed with because of the phone I think I used my phone. Yeah, this is a phone picture. So you know that plays a factor into it as well. Where did they clip this at? I'm confused now. You see right here? They clipped a piece of paper over the brakes, the auto brakes. That's interesting. But it's pretty impressive to see. Again, other than maybe some color differences, it's pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. I was satisfied. Very much so. Alright, we'll be looking at here. Top of descent is in about 5 minutes. So we're going to wait until 41. And at 41, we don't get our instructions, then we'll ask for them. And again, this arrival part will be the interesting moment. I was watching this video yesterday and I saw that people have made 3D molds, I guess, that you can place the Stream Deck underneath your desk, and I was really liking the way it looks. But now that I look at like my setup, I think it'd be very difficult for me to obtain that. Yeah, it'd be pretty difficult. I was also on this kick recently again about looking at the Moza stuff. So Moza has a force feedback yoke and a force feedback joystick. And I was on a serious kick again looking at it, researching it. And I was really focused on the yoke because, as you know, I really enjoy the yoke. Personally in flight simming. But it's, what taxes, what shipping, all that jazz is over $1,000, which I don't have. Which is also really expensive. You know? Like the honeycomb was $300, the Alpha itself, and then the Bravo was another $250 or something, or maybe it's vice versa, the pricing. But either way, that's $500 combined, and so combine my rudder pedals, and it's still not as much as just a single yoke. Now that's because it's force feedback, of course, and that's because it's Moza, which does high quality stuff. But even with that said, alright, they changed our runway as well now. It's runway 3 for the arrival. Expect radar vectors runway 3, SkyWest 6334. Alright, so runway 3.
SkyWest 6334, verify instruction.
Didn't I say it? We will expect radar vectors runway 3, SkyWest 6334. Alright, so we're doing ILS approach now.
Allegiant 2315, contact
Let's go on down below here. Actually, let's wait for this turn, then we're going to go at heading mode, and we're going to make the adjustments.
2315.
I don't want to make any changes, and then all of a sudden it starts going crazy. So, Garen, unfortunately, we won't be having our RNF approach now. We'll see what happens, though, if it descends us properly. Alright, smoothing out here our turn, and then we'll go heading mode, and we'll see what happens once I change the runway. I don't know if that works really well in this computer. Alright, looks pretty stable to me. Let's go. Oh, looks like it's making an adjustment again based on the wind. Got a 46 knot wind. Crosswind right now, so it's making that correction.
Southwest 1476, Albuquerque Center, copy.
Alright, looks like it's stabilized. Heading. We're going to go heading mode. Let's go on down here. Arrival, runway 3, ILS. We don't have a star, so we're going to go direct there and apply. Go to flights, and let's see if it made any braking things. Alright, looks like it's fine for now. And we're going direct to there. Okay, looks good. Let's just continue. Let's go back to nav. Let's make maybe slight adjustments if it is going to. Yep, just maybe minor course adjustments. Okay, so now with that said, we do have an we have an ILS now, so we have to make that adjustment.
SkyWest 6334, Durango La Platico Airport landing runway 3.
Okay, so that cue, that call is telling me we're supposed to start doing our descent now, or we're eligible to start doing our descent. So it's supposed to say
SkyWest 6334, altimeter 3029er, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 03.
it should be saying, you know, start descend via blah blah blah, but
Altimeter
whatever.
3029er, expect
Alright,
radar
so
vectors for ILS runway 03.
9,300.
SkyWest 6334.
SkyWest 6334.
Oh, hey, look at this.
14,000 feet, altimeter 3029er.
Alright, 1,400. Or sorry, 14,000.
Descend and maintain 14,000 feet. Altimeter 3029er, SkyWest 6334.
Alright, disregard what I said. I guess it figured its life out. Alright, so landing runway now is going to be 027, sorry, 027.
SkyWest 6334. Have a good
And we can
one.
update our temperature and all that jazz. Temperature still 7, winds are
Denver Center,
06 at 3 still.
6334,
Beautiful.
flight level
That's all grand.
379er.
Radios 1091. Good and good. Cool. Okay, so that is set still. And 6843 for the minimums now, so we can go ahead and adjust those minimums. So 6840. Beautiful. And does that make sense for the landing runway 06 at 3? Yeah, that kind of does make sense. I guess either one would work, but this will be fine. Alright, so now we have an ILS approach into Durango runway 3 for the arrival. Expected ETA on the ground at 09. So, what? Just under a half hour we'll be on the ground. Again, next stream might be on Saturday. I need to figure out timing. Going out for lunch. I don't know when. Still figuring that out. Okay, so there's risk. So this path looks really good still. So what I'm seeing on the charts, I think I can pull up charts here, can't I? Oh, I don't have it off. authenticate it. Give me a second. I'll authenticate it. I don't think I've ever used the charts in this aircraft. Alright, should be linked, so it should start working. There it goes. Okay, so it doesn't import it, huh? That's unfortunate. Let's go Kate. Oh crap. Oh, that's a limitation, isn't it? Oh, it doesn't. The keyboard won't. Nah. Okay, we're not gonna do the charts because the keyboard's gonna be all goofy. I forgot that it has a limitation right now, where where if you click on. It's supposed to disable the keyboard shortcuts and all that jazz if you click on something, but it's not working right now, so we'll ignore that. I was going to bring up the charts for you to see. What does it say? So we're about 86 nautical miles out from the airport. Okay, so on landing at this airport, we're going to exit to the right. Or sorry, left, I believe, right? No, exit to the... yeah, left. And there really isn't a terminal here. So we're just kind of find a place to park. Prior permission required for unscheduled air carrier operations with more than 30 passengers. Well, we are scheduled. So we have a south GA ramp. We have a ramp terminal at Alpha 2. So we're going to try to exit at Alpha 2. And we'll just kind of find a parking terminal there.
Harpoon 8774, altimeter 3029.
Very slightly off course for risk, but close enough.
Altimeter 3029.
We'll make it work.
Vectors for ILS runway 03. Harpoon 8774.
So we cut off like 20 minutes for the arrival, I think.
Fly present heading, descend and maintain 10,000
That's pretty good.
feet. Altimeter 3029 vectors for the approach.
Fly present heading, descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Altimeter 3029. Harpoon 8774.
Harpoon. Harpoon. So I don't know if anyone's watching The Last of Us series, but I'm really impressed. They made some pretty big changes with this last episode, though, that I question why they did those changes. Welcome in, Will. Yeah, like I said, I don't know why they made those changes. I don't want to give any spoilers out, but there were really dramatic changes from the game. Now, I've not finished a full game. Part 2. I finished the first one, but not the second one. I'm just kind of want to see what people are saying about this last one.
8,900 feet. Harpoon 8774.
Harpoon 8774, 6 miles from Indy, fly present heading, maintain 8,000.
Yeah, so it looks like
until
people...
established. Cleared ILS runway 03.
Fly present heading. 8,800.
People are kind of
established.
not complaining, but,
Cleared
you know,
ILS runway
making note of some of the
03.
changes as well.
Harpoon 8774.
And, you know, it's fine to do. Obviously, when you have a game adaptation like this, there's going to be changes that have to be made because it's television versus real life, but, you know, it is what it is. Thanks for rebar. Worked really well. Oh, sorry, it's working great. Turn it off. Awesome, that's great. You know, again, some of these changes are going to work better for others than some. These are changes that work well for me on my system. There are a lot of different hardware out there, a lot of different OSs that people run, different versions of Windows. Even Windows 11, some of the versions can make some drastic changes. You know, but I'm glad it worked for you well. I'm really, really glad. Really glad. I'm happy. Smoother performance for everyone is a happy person's. I also decided, I was talking about it on the last stream, but I have decided that I am going to try... We're a little high on the approach. Let me see, how are we looking at risk? We want to be just around 10,000. Risk is about 20-some nautical miles out, so yeah, I think we're a little high on the approach. I'm going to go ahead and descend a little bit faster. That should work. So I'm on Mint Mobile, and Mint Mobile sent me an email a couple of days back saying that I can try out the T-Mobile 5G for $35 a month, and I have a 2-week trial, right? Kind of thing. So I did sign up for it yesterday, and the speeds are about half of what my current speeds are. Okay. And same with upload speed, you know, based on the numbers. But based on what I've been testing on my phone to see what the spots are, and of course the actual hardware that T-Mobile provides should be slightly better, it seems like it might work. And my thought process is the following, and it might sound crazy, but my thought process is that if we get, I don't even know if it's possible because of address, but if we get 2 of the hotspot things, it's still cheaper than having Xfinity, which is what we currently have. So if we're allowed to get 2 of these, I think it will fix a lot of the issues that I'm worried about, which is one, that we're definitely over the 1.2 terabytes a month. We're about averaging 1.6, 1.7. But we'll see what happens. Again, I should get that. I think I don't know if it's even shipped yet, but it's saying either Sunday or Monday. Sunday would be cool to be able to test it out. But might not be able to test it until Monday. But I'm curious to see what this performance will be overall. And again, if it's at least what it's saying in terms of the high end, if I can get the high end over 400 per second, like that should be plenty. If it's like that 100 or something like that now, that's not gonna work. I won't be able to, not with streaming and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. But like the price tag, combining that, you know, if it's gonna be, let's say $70 a month for 2 of them, I'm paying about 131, 32 or something like that with Xfinity. So that's $60 cheaper a month. You know, over the grand scheme of things, that's like $700 a year. That's a hell of a savings. A hell of a savings. Worked before, but on arrival, the stutters came. Now it's better. Cool. Okay, so on the arrivals, it's better. Awesome. Yeah. It's interesting, like how sometimes, how at certain times major changes can help and not. All right, 015. So they're vectoring us for the approach. We are definitely high at this time, so we might have to do a 360. Go to heading mode.
Harpoon 8774. No tower services available at Durango La Plata Co. Frequency change approved.
Trying to see what that says up here.
Harpoon 8774.
So at Juby, we should be at 88. So yeah, we are pretty high, but we'll see what happens.
Maintain 2,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 2,000 feet.
I'm also going to go to
6334.
manage mode for the speed and bring back the speed myself. Let's go down to 10. And that should help us. Actually, I think we'll be alright with everything now. Now that I look at it, it might be alright. Irishman, welcome on in. Irishman is going to be a happy user very soon, right? Very soon, of the Honeycomb, Alpha, Bravo, and you got the Charlie too, right? Did you get all three, or did you get the Alpha and Bravo only? And then you also got the Thrustmaster, the throttle stuff for it, which I don't have.
Descend, maintain 11,300.
So I'm happy for you. Hopefully that comes soon.
Skywest 6334.
All right, descend 11,300.
Skywest 6334. Descend
And now 8,800. All right, cool. So that's the vector. That's the approach.
Descend and maintain 8,800. Skywest 6334.
I'm bring a little bit of air, speed brakes out.
Skywest 6334. 9 miles from Indy. Fly present heading. Maintain 8,800 until established.
And let's go to VOR, VOR1. And let's check the
Fly
course,
present heading,
027.
8,800
Beautiful.
Until established. Cleared ILS
Let's go.
runway
Nope.
03,
Okay, so approach mode is not
Skywest
activated yet.
6334.
Yeah, we are definitely high.
Southwest Niner 24. Denver Center. Radar contact.
We'll see if we can get our speed down. Help us with our descent.
Alpine Air.
Don't have an airport in sight yet. Here we want to be at 80, or not here. So yeah, we might be alright still. We might be alright. I'm gonna get our descent a little bit more. I got there. That's another flaw with this plane, is you don't have the arch to tell you where you are on the approach. Yeah, I got all three for a great deal, and I said if I'm going to buy all three, I might as well buy the Airbus pack as well. Yeah. So when are they expected arrival? What's the ETA? Will you be able to have it for the weekend? I'm excited for you. I hope you're happy with it. You had the Turtle Beach stuff before. The Turtle Beach, it was just a joystick, right? Alright, passing 13. Yes, we are high on the approach based on what we're seeing here. Let's go to approach mode now. Okay, so we're intercepting the ILS. Gung-ho. All or nothing. Alright, watching the altitude to bring out our landing lights. Let's go and drop our VS a little bit more. Alright, ILS is intercepting.
Denver Center, Allegiant 472, flight level 320.
And you saw on the map there's a plane on the ground there at Durango.
Allegiant 472. Denver Center. Radar contact.
Alright, looking pretty good now. Pretty good. Pretty good. When I was on my flights, they had, for the in-flight service, they had free entertainment. You know, if you have a tablet or whatnot. There's the airport. And they had Curb Your Enthusiasm as an option, so I watched a couple episodes of that.
6334. No tower services available.
No tower services available.
Frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved. Skywest 6334. Have a good
Alright, so we're
one.
supposed to go to Unicom now. 1228. 1228. And over to Unicom. Alright, altitude's looking good, and glide slope's been captured. Grand, beautiful. Let's bring out our first notch of flaps. We're a little late on that. 180 on the speed. Alright, gear coming down. Second notch of flaps are coming out as well. We're going to get dinged on the speed on this approach, I think. Had the Turtle Beach flight deck. Is this your first yoke? It's going to be a heck of a change if it is. It takes a while to get used to it, so give it time. Be patient with it. I know when back with X-Plane, I think it was X-Plane, yeah. I had bought one of the yokes. I don't remember which one it was. Let me get the yoke camera on, by the way. I had bought one, and one I didn't like it. It was a cheap one. But two, I couldn't really get used to it because I've only had a joystick my entire life. But that was different with the honeycomb. So I think it's just a quality difference, honestly. Alright, autopilot's off my aircraft. Don't worry, it's all gonna be okay. All gonna be alright. Take it easy, just calm down. Don't scream back there. Be alright. We're in not great hands, but you know. I have nothing to add after that. You know. Alright, just trimming the plane up here. Good. Yes and no. Alright, looking good. Doing some more trim. Alright, just kind of glancing at the glide slope. Looking at the pappies. Kind of just going visual at this point, though. Making minor adjustments with the joystick. Or sorry, the joystick, with the yoke. Back on course a little bit. Now let's see if I can not have the thud. I seem to come in a little hard, so I'm gonna try to butter this one. If we hear a big thud, it means that I didn't. Let it settle down. There's the thud. Alright, well, the thud happened either way. Our reversers are out. Got a United that landed here. And then our terminal is Alpha 2. What's that say? I can't see. Going too fast. It says Alpha. Okay. We'll take it. Landing lights are off. Flaps are coming on up. And nope, I guess Alpha 2 is the next one. But we'll take it. There's no terminal here. Alright, flaps are up and APU is coming on. We'll see what the landing rate was. I felt pretty good. Welcome to P2. Welcome on in. Hope the job's going good. Made it in just for landing, yeah. That felt good. It felt really good. Alright, taxi lights are going off. And again, there's no terminal really here, at least in the sim. Alright, parking brake is set. Like right here is where it says the terminal is, but you can see over there there's no like gate. So this will be fine. Anyways, that's where the United is over here. One thing I do wish is that you could adjust the shades in this plane. You can't. I don't think you can do it on here, can you? Let's see. Aircraft. Auto throttle, override cabins. Operator, hide cabins. Music, wheel covers. No. Nope. I didn't think so. Alright, GPU connected. Because, like, if you go back... We'll just do drone mode. Into the cabin here. Oh my god, it's going to be really slow because I have the thing turned down. But some of the windows, the shades are partly closed and you can't adjust it. That kind of sucks. All right, on to here. Let's go to APU gen. Right? What's he yelling about? APU gen bus off. And let's go on down here. Off. Off. Let it simmer down. Cool. Lights are off. That's off. Yoke cam's off. Cool. Okay, let's see what we get for our landing rate, shall we? Your flight has been submitted, it says. Alright, I ordered the Moza. Did you really? The Moza AB9 with their stick. I also got the MCP panel for the Airbus for wind wing, and I started using Beyondatc as well for traffic. The vector enduring final for RNAV still needs work. I'm on their GA version. Oh, general release? Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about the RNAV. This was supposed to be an RNAV approach, but they changed it to an ILS, so I was hoping to see, because Garen was talking about the same thing. But I'm excited for the Moza. Let me know how that stick is. I've been really looking at it hard recently. And it's a bit cheaper. Micro Center has the stick in stock locally. They don't have the actual, what's it called, the base. They don't have the base in stock locally. I was like, I can save a lot of money on shipping to pick it up. So if it actually came in stock locally, I might be willing to do such a thing. So let me know, PTO, how that is. Let's see, how was our landing? We get 100% on that flight. Fantastic landing rate. Holy cow. This is, I gotta bring this up on the screen. Whoosh. And not a -9, but a 9. So we really floated. So I'm confused on that thud though, because that thud shouldn't have happened. But a 9, a +9. So we very much floated. You can see landing score here is a 9. So +9 is not good. It should be not a minus. But that was as smooth as you can possibly get. There might have been a little bit of a bounce there on that landing, but overall pretty good. Really cool. So that was a nice smooth flight. I've also noticed that they don't let me know my arrival until well into the descent. I don't know if it's just because of my skill issue or general Beyondatc issue. I wish I could know during cruise. It won't let me know my arrival until well. You can ask PT. Well, no, you can't with LLM. Without LLM, you can't. But you should have LLM. You should have it. If you go into settings, you should have it. Let me bring it back up here. So if you go into your, what is it now, account, you should be able to select the, I think you have access to the experimental build. So if you check that, this is experimental. I don't know, it's one of the two, early access or experimental. I don't know which version. It's probably early access. You should be able to have LLM. I thought everyone had access to it. I thought they launched that live for everyone. I thought they did. So you should be able to get LLM, or at least parts of it. I swear they launched it to everyone. I can't even start Pilot's Life until the gears get here. Oh, okay, yeah. Till the gear gets here. It says you can't know your arrival, you're on cruise or something to that effect. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, LLM, I know you can ask for it. I don't remember if you could not before. I guess not, probably not. But yeah, you should be able to change that setting. I'm pretty sure in there. I'm gonna scan through the Discord really quick. But I'm pretty sure I remember seeing in the announcements. Let's go to patch notes. So the last one had some call signs and stutter fixes. The previous one did that. Premium voices, reserve valve issues, new parking. Gate assignments, traffic vectors reworking. That was April 2nd. Yeah, LLM, additional tuning reworking based on feedback. And that was the major update back on February 18th. So yeah, you should be able to switch it over to probably early access version. I think experimental is only for supporter packs, which is what I'm on. So yeah, you should have access to. And Garen, I see your flight, so I see the information there. Thanks for that. RNAV 24, yeah. So I'll do that tonight and see how it is. But yeah, you should be able to change it, and then that hopefully will help you out with some of that issue. All right, well, cool. As everyone, thanks, as always, I should say, thanks for coming into the stream. Once I figure out Saturday, or if it gets moved to Sunday, maybe, we'll see. But I'm likely it's either gonna be Saturday morning at the normal time like today, or it will be in the evening on Saturday sometime. So once I get that figured out, I'll get the stream schedule up, and I'm not sure, maybe a flight or two. I'm not sure how many flights to do on that day, but again, thanks everyone for coming in for the stream. A lot of fun. This aircraft is a lot of fun. Great beyond ATC flight. No real issues. Actually, it was spot on perfect, wasn't it? There was 0 issues with beyond ATC today. Gave me a damn good vector. Gave me instructions for descent. Was spot on. This plane worked really well. Obviously, it has its limitations, which I spoke about a couple times already. But overall fun. And of course, a pilot's life. No issues with that. So a great day for streaming. And a great day for Microsoft Flight Sim. So as always, thanks for coming in, and we'll see you for the next stream. Take care.